were named the Minister of Finance. What would you do to fix the problems that you see in the Israeli economy?
Okay.
It's an easy question, right?
Yeah. I think she wrote a book on it.
If you want to be pragmatic and leave ideology aside, the key problem in the Israeli economy today is what's called labor participation. If there's one single figure that really matters, it's that. There's a lot of things that you can do, and reforms, and open up, and less bureaucracy and stuff like that. These are important, they're valuable, but they're not where the core problem lies. The core problem lies in labor participation. Israel, of the modern economies, of the advanced economies, has one of the lowest labor participation rates, mostly as a result of two populations. One population is the Arab population. Israel has about a 17% Arab minority, and the Arab minority is still mostly a more traditional economy, more traditional community, less acceptance of female work, and having women work certainly when they're married, or having them work far away from the local village or far away from home. So that is one to study. And if a man can dedicate himself to a life of study, then that is the highest calling that such a man can have. And this is supported by very strong structure from the state. So the ultra-Orthodox are politically mobilized pretty much to secure one thing, that they get the minimum ability, no one's getting rich on it, but the minimum ability essentially not to work and to dedicate themselves to study. These are two big populations. Together they form about a third. He also took some pretty big steps to move Israel even closer to being a modern economy, and he cut substantially the welfare support to large families. It used to be that the fourth, fifth, sixth child and so on were worth more than the first. So it gave substantially more welfare to larger families. What Netanyahu did is it equalized it. So the fifth child is worth the same as the first child in terms of what you get from the government. This has had substantial impact. It's actually quite amazing on fertility rates going down. And I mean, he started taking steps in that direction, and there is change within the ultra-Orthodox sector. They understand as well that it's not sustainable internally and in relation to the wider Israeli society. But there is no doubt, and there's a wonderful guy, I don't know if you're going to meet him, his name is Dan Ben David. He has a great talk about the Israeli economy, and he basically shows that if Israel were to bring its labor participation rates to just normal Western rates, the Israeli economy would be, I don't know, 50% more than it is today. So I would say this is the key issue.
Tell them stop studying, or I mean, I guess you could send them to schools, but it's a sensitive issue.
That's precisely the reason it's so difficult, because it is politically very difficult to resolve, because the ultra-Orthodox mobilized politically to secure these rights. They make use of this political power. So the only situation by way of which this could be changed is under specific political constellations where it becomes possible to take away some of these rights. And that is what happened in 2002, and it had substantial impact. So you probably need a combination of the same combination you need for any economic reform. A sense of immediate crisis with the political constellation that allows you to carry some pretty extreme steps. But But that's exactly the problem, and you have it in every country. In every country, you can see problems ballooning, but no one does anything until they reach a point of crisis where the political forces are aligned to take action. Right? There was a certain window which moved us forward in 2002, 2003. Right now, there's not such window, but this is clear. In a way, what any finance minister would need to do is to have a plan to carry all these steps out for the moment when the political constellation and the crisis situation allows for it.
That's it anymore.
Oh, then you could have basically a better welfare system at the end of the day. I mean,
So it would be a transfer of, like, I guess, subsistence for people, and you just broaden it to the rest of the economy.
yeah, you would basically be able to, I mean, first of all, you could use it to lower the tax rate, to invest in the economy. I'm saying beyond these things, beyond the obviously kind of lowering tax rates, lowering the debt level, which again is fine, not too high, and investing more in infrastructure and education, is that you could have a better welfare system that is more egalitarian and that takes care of those who truly cannot work. Please.
Can you expand on the education part? I think that you saw in your bio that you kind of wanted that a little bit, and just open that up.
Okay. The education issue. First of all, Israel has, just so you know broadly, especially since today education is such a big part of any successful economy, Israel does not have a private education system. It is all state financed. But it has what are called streams of education. Because of the way the state was established, because of various political considerations and kind of fights between various political streams, you basically have what's called the central education system. You have a religious, a kind of religious civic education system that is part of the central education system but has a more religious tone to it. You have the Arab religious system and you have the ultra-Orthodox religious system. That in itself already burdens the economy in itself. And the Israeli education system is in crisis, like many education systems across the world. The sense is that it has become a bottomless pit, that no matter how much money you put into it, the results are not good. Israel has come down from the early days. In the 50s, 60s, Israel had one of the best education systems in the world. And that was one of the benefits of kind of the collectivist, mobilized economy and the idea, and the very ideological based economy. And that economy, for example, being a teacher, was a very important element of carrying out the Zionist task, teaching the next generation. So the place of teachers in society at that time was also very different. And Israel has come down in terms of its global rankings. And there's a sense of crisis, but nobody knows what to do. There have been numerous committees that have attempted to offer various solutions. There has not been a real debate yet about privatizing the system, yes or no. What you have is a slow process of semi-privatization. People are building schools that specialize in music or art or science and finding a way to, they get support from the state, but because it's a special school, they're allowed to take a little more money from the parents. So you have a bit of that going on. But at the core, the system is in crisis. It's not delivering. It's getting a lot of money. The results are not there. And no appropriate solution has been offered yet. And I don't know how it is in many other countries, but one of the most annoying things is that you have politicians who day and night say that nothing is more important than education, but in effect, that's not how they act.